Hi, it's me, Jody Hand, Mrs. Hand Painted, and today's video is one of a series of 8 paintings that you can do, some mini landscapes. I'm going to show you how to do each one of these in one of the 8 videos that I'm sharing with you. All of the videos are separate, so this video will only show one of the paintings. I'm going to be doing painting number 2. You can do this on one 9x12 sheet of paper. I have this set up to do 8 different paintings that are all 2.5 inches by 3.75 inches. So you can also do them on these small little pads from Legion Paper Stonehenge. You can get these from lots of different retailers, but I purchased mine from Jerry's Artorama, and they have them in their buy it, try it deals if they're in stock. I'll put a link for that in my description as well so that you can look those up. But these are the exact size of all of the rectangles on my paper, and you can fit 8 on one 9x12 sheet of paper. Make sure you check out the other 7 videos so that you can do all 8 landscapes on your paper.
Supplies I'll be using in today's tutorial for this landscape are the same sheet of Legion Stonehenge cold press paper that I did landscape number 1. Some Daniel Smith watercolors. I'll be using indigo and undersea green for my trees, Princeton Velvetouch round 10, and a 1/4 inch dagger striper. I'll also be using a heat tool to dry the steps in between. I'm going to start out by taking some clean water in your round size 10 and just making an evenly wet surface on your rectangle. And if you wanted to tape this off to get clean edges, you can do that as an option. I am just using a super watered down, diluted bit of the indigo to make a grayish sky, and just kind of doing that across the entire rectangle, just very, very diluted. And before that dries, you'll want to do our fuzzy background. So I'm going to take some of that indigo with a little bit of undersea green and mix up just kind of a bluish green color. And while that's still wet, I'm going to take my 1/4 inch dagger striper and I'm going to paint in some tree shapes very loosely. So just make a line going down and some very loose branches. This will be the background behind our main trees. So just going across in however manner you wish. You can have some tall ones and short ones, just making several tree shapes along the back, and we'll let that blend into the wet paint that we already have on there. Like I said, this is just going to be a fuzzy background. All right, after doing several trees across there, I'm gonna dry this. If you wanted to just let this dry on its own and come back and finish the painting later, you can do that. But just to speed things up, I'm using my heat tool to dry this so that I can do my next layer on top. All right, now I'm going to get my same exact mix of undersea green and indigo and use my dagger striper again. And I'm going to do some more detailed trees in front of this. So I'm using my dagger striper and I'm just kind of turning it sideways a little bit and using the tip and the side of the bristles to just kind of, I'm not sure what the term would be, but I'm just kind of dabbing that in different direction slightly, just turning it ever so slightly and twisting my brush to make those branches. If you want to try this out on a practice sheet before you do this, that might be something um, just to get used to this brush. It is a little bit different. If you don't have a dagger striper, you can just use a small round brush and make some evergreen trees with that as well. And I'm just going to go across my page and I'm going to have different heights of trees and they're all going to meet up at the bottom and they're just going to kind of disappear off to the bottom. So I'll just make my way across and that's really all I'm doing. So you can make as many or as few trees as you want. I'm going to bunch some together, just going all the way across. And if you want to change your mix a little bit as you go across, this one I added a little bit more green in. You can vary the combination of green and your indigo. And that is the last tree. I will just let this dry after I'm done with this one. I hope you like this little landscape. It was really simple, but it's a great way to practice doing some trees. I have 7 other mini landscape videos in this series. If you want to check them out, you can subscribe to my channel or check out the playlist in my under my playlists.